10 Best Natural Ways to Preserve Food at Home. Food preservation is defined as: according to history, preserving food meant extending the bounty of one season in the hopes of extending the supply through the following harvest. It indicated that the food had been kept with the intention of being consumed during the winter. Food preservation is mostly done to stop food from spoiling. Foods rot when microorganisms like bacteria, mold, and fungi grow on them. Similar to what transpires to apples when they are left cut open on the table, spoilage can also take the shape of browning when exposed to air. Food rancidity can also be caused by the oxidation of lipids and oils. 1. Pickling. Pickling is a long-standing custom practiced in almost all cultures worldwide. Almost any place in the world, you can find pickled foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, and kombucha. Food can be pickled in two fundamental ways. First, by soaking it in vinegar, few bacteria can stand up to its pungent power. The second involves allowing food to soak in a salt brine in order to promote fermentation. The process of fermentation promotes the growth of good bacteria, which inhibits the growth of microorganisms that cause spoiling. A step-by-step tutorial for fermenting is available to modern farmer. Without a doubt, adopting the natural approach requires a little more time and effort, and there are very few options that are completely preservative-free. 2. Freezing. You are aware of our enthusiasm for freezing food. One of the simplest and most efficient ways to preserve food is freezing. Invest in a vacuum sealer for the greatest results. The secret to successful freezing is ensuring that as little air as possible enters your storage. By doing this, you can prevent freezer burn and flavor loss in your food. Foods that have recently been prepared should first completely cool before being added. Heat can thaw food already in your freezer by lowering its temperature. Heat can also produce steam, which speeds up freezer burn. See our tutorial on how to freeze practically any vegetable for more information. 3. Rosemary extract. BHA and BHT, two potentially cancer-causing preservatives, can be substituted with rosemary. Food oils are protected from oxidation and rancidity by BHA and BHT. In items like potato chips, meats, and vegetable oils, rosemary extract does the same task without posing any health hazards. 4. Salting. Prior to the invention of refrigeration, salting was the main method of food preservation. Salt dehydrates food by drawing water out of it, just like sugar does. The bacteria eventually perish because they require water to exist. We do not, however, advise salting as a family habit. The easiest way to put it is according to infectious disease specialist Ingrid Koo, most bacteria, with the exception of halophiles, salt-loving bacteria, cannot grow in situations where the salt content is greater than 10%. Molds are tolerant of much higher salt concentration. 180 g of salt would need to be dissolved in 1800 g of water to yield 10% salt, or roughly 1 cup of salt dissolved in 7.5 cups of water. What saltiness does 10% salt have? Have you ever ingested water by accident while swimming in the ocean? 3.5% of seawater is salt. Think of consuming 3 times as salty ocean. Today, the hygienic aspect of salting is actually the result of the combination of dehydration, as in jerky, or the addition of acid, as in pickles. 5. Canning. When done correctly, canning is a fantastic and efficient way to preserve food. Food is placed in jars and heated to a temperature that kills bacteria that ruin food as part of the canning process. The air is driven out of the jars as they heat up, creating a secure vacuum seal. There are 2 methods for heating properly: pressure canning, which is used to preserve vegetables, meats, and seafood, and the boiling water bath method, which is suitable for fruits, jams, and other preserves. 6. Garlic. It is well known that garlic has antiviral qualities. According to a 2004 research, adding garlic to your dishes will deter unwanted microorganisms. Salmonella and E. coli contaminated chicken legs were coated with garlic and kept in the refrigerator for 15 days. The chicken with the garlic coating had noticeably less bacterial growth than the control samples in each of the 3 trials. 7. Sugar. In order to preserve food, sugar removes water from the meal. By depriving bacteria of water, it starves them as a result, a process that our science-forward friends call osmosis. Without water, bacteria cannot reproduce, divide, or grow, which is essentially a death sentence. Fruit is frequently preserved with sugar because it inhibits the growth of germs, mold, and yeast. 8. The removal of artificial preservatives, such as sodium nitrite, from Oscar Mayer's hot dogs, was announced in 2017. Celery juice, a natural source of sodium nitrite, is now used as a replacement. Nitrites are added to meats to keep them from spoiling and to keep them the reddish/pink hue we've come to expect from deli meats, which isn't usually natural. No matter if sodium nitrite is derived naturally or chemically, health researchers have long suspected that it may be carcinogenic. Bummer. The good news is that businesses are beginning to pay more attention to employing natural components, even though there isn't nearly a fully safe replacement yet. 9. As a natural preservative, this odd fruit is causing a stir in Australia. Due to its extremely high vitamin C content, which is approximately 100 times higher than that of blueberries and oranges, the fruit was elevated to the position of a superfood. According to research, the Kakadu plum can extend shelf life by up to 3 months. Wowza! Yes, a superfood.